welcome to join me if it's morning, afternoon or evening. My name's Kevin Hodge, reading my dad's letters from 1999. Today is January the 16th, so we're 16 days into this. Only another quite a lot of days to go. Anyway, today Dad focused on sort of three things really. One was the plight of a teenage mother, single mum who had left her young child at home while she went out on the tiles for the night and then was caught out. But the judge thankfully was sympathetic, so he sort of let her off with a warning, although a neighbour had said that she'd also been asked to babysit one night at 9 p.m. because mum needed to go to a funeral. So Dad obviously had a bit of a dim view of all of that, and I suspect that still is the plight of some single parents who are desperate to get out but perhaps have a limited number of friends to help out, which is a bit sad. The second part was Dad was talking about the IRA, which in the UK here was quite prominent in 1999, and apparently there were quite a number of IRA prisoners being allowed to leave prisons, and I can't remember when the Good Friday Agreement was made now, but at that point there was quite a lot of worry about releasing people who have been potentially bombers and all that sort of thing, so that was a bit sort of scary, I think, from their point of view. Dad then talked about, you remember yesterday he talked about the Royal Mail and its poor service and the fact that a second class letter was going down to 19p, and I haven't quite been able to find out how much a second class stamp is today. I suspect about 120, I think. So that was something he noted as well. However, he also read today that apparently a letter arrived from Elvis Presley, a genuine handwritten letter had arrived to a fan, but let me just check here how long it was, 36 years later, because Elvis had given it to some guy in Germany who had failed to post it. It came to light, was posted, arrived at the fan who was now 50, and my dad was musing on the fact that it probably is going to be worth a heck of a lot of money. Certainly these days on eBay, something like that I'm sure would fetch many, many thousands of pounds. And even a couple of days ago, I think it was the anniversary of Elvis's death, and there was quite a long obituary in our local papers, waxing lyrical about the great Elvis Presley, and obviously a devoted and besotted fan, I guess, so, which I don't knock. I mean, some people obviously held him in extremely high regard, but like all people, really had his faults and his demons, I guess. Lastly, Dad, my mum Grace, my mum Grace had a chiropodist visit fairly regularly later in her life, and Dad, as he always has to have a little bit of a joke. I take after him a bit, I think. It occurs to me that here is a profession that you really have to start at the bottom and stay there. so that was January the 16th. And thanks for sorry again about the little bit of whirring in the background. It's a Cine transfer machine I have that takes about 6 hours to transfer, and I did it yesterday, as you may have heard, but unfortunately I had the wrong settings, so it came out too dark, so I'm just doing it again today. They're on the channel and will be uploaded later if you want to find out anything about the Hodge family, or you're one of the Hodges or connected to the Hodge family. We go back a long way, South London, so there's quite a lot to see really, but I'm afraid it's only a small fraction of life in the Hodge family from the early 60s through to about the late 70s. But anyway, thanks for joining me, and there you go. Cheers.